Can you look at it?
Look at what?
Did it pop up?
No. Oh, there it is. I see people.
Can you see people now?
Yes.
Hi, peoples.
Are we the right way?
Yes. Well,
Are we the right way?
they can turn their own phones.
Yeah, but if they're on a TV. Well, I think we're live, guys, but I gotta rotate it. Maybe it's this way. Oh, rotator's locked. Oh no, goddamn.
Rolling.
Where the hell I rotate it?
SaSobek Reptiles of Australia.
Orientation is locked. How do I unlock the fucking thing? Cancel. Alright, whatever. Is it just locked like that?
Well, it's locked on my phone.
Alright, Peter. We're getting super technical difficulties here. I don't know how to rotate it.
Is it locked on your screen?
Yeah, have you locked your screen on your phone?
I don't think so. How do I unlock it?
All the high-tech
Oh, lock?
That should lock it though. Maybe not. I don't know. Just try it either way. See what happens.
Okay, well, orientation is locked.
Like sideways on that.
Is it sideways on yours too?
I don't know. Yes.
We've got 5 watching. Is it just us?
Probably.
Oh, YouTube, yeah. I'm on YouTube.
Oh, that sucks. We can't have it like that. We gotta have it like this.
Yeah, just stay still for a second. It's the right way. Yeah.
It is the right way?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but is it gonna be like the wrong way whenever you're watching it on TV?
Who's watching it on TV?
If you turn it vertical,
Alright, fuck it. Let's do it. That's fine.
if you turn it vertical, it'll
What's up, everybody?
turn your phones to the left, to the right.
Yeah, you just gotta turn your phones. We're sorry, we're so technologically not advanced.
The words not capable.
Not capable? Yeah.
Not capable at all.
You don't want to be in the middle seat.
No,
No?
you're right.
Okay.
You're in the middle, bro.
Alright.
You're in the middle. In fact, before that went on, you actually sat there and said, listen, I'm going to make a thing of it, but I'm going to be in the middle.
I was gonna be in the middle because I'm the center of
This is
attention.
where it's all
Yeah,
going.
If I'm hosting this podcast, I shouldn't be in the middle, but that's, that's the thing. Alright, guys. Well, so there's really nothing to do today because we just survived a hurricane. How did you guys like your first hurricane?
Well, in all honesty, I slept through it. So, it was alright. Good night's sleep.
Yeah? Yeah. How about you, Peter?
Well, you didn't pop my cherry, it's my second.
Oh, it's your second.
My first was Sandy. She was very caring.
Yeah.
Milton was very loud.
Yeah.
He's quite the monster.
Milton was
Yeah.
caring, though, compared to what it could have been. So,
Yeah.
thankful for that.
We were definitely more inland, so it was, a lot better than, over on the Tampa side.
Nope.
We did want to give out a shout out to Tiki's Geckos. They got hit pretty bad with a tornado that actually spawned from the hurricane, so that kind of sucked. But we're wishing them the best, and they're in our thoughts for sure. And you guys need any help, let us know, because these guys are here for
We're here for another day.
another day or so. We can come down and help chop some trees or something.
Cause some chaos.
Yeah. So where are you guys heading after this? And why are you guys even here in the first place?
We're not really sure. I don't even know how we ended up here.
Yeah.
We're not really sure how
We were here for Animal Con, and we
that's right.
stayed.
Yeah. Because they couldn't get a flight out.
Overstayed.
Yeah, overstayed.
Yeah.
Overstayed our
From your
welcome.
point of view.
Yeah.
Overstayed.
Yeah, they ate all my food and we have no water left and stuff like that.
Trashed your
But
house.
trashed my house, yeah.
Strange, strange.
Yeah. So these two were in for Animal Con. That was one of Brian's biggest things was to get that off the ground and running. So these guys came all the way from Australia to support Brian. And obviously live here, so it was easy for me to get there, and definitely would support him all the way. What do you guys think of Animal Con for the 3rd year?
3rd year.
Yeah.
Well, Steve-O was here last year for his first time.
I was first time last year, which was great. Great because I got to spend some time with Brian, which was amazing. Yeah, this time, I don't know, a bit, I guess to start with, a bit surreal, you know, a bit strange, but probably we all put that on ourselves, of it being a bit strange, because Brian wasn't obviously there, but...
It has to feel different than he's not there, right?
It's probably going to every year. But yeah, the first year after it, you know, is always going to be strange, but enjoyed it, good.
Yeah.
Met some new people, that was cool. I think that was cool. Met some really
Everyone's
nice new people.
Always like, because I'm not in your creator world, and you kind of think, initially you kind of think you're putting all of these creators into one room.
It's gonna be a big
This is
info.
going to be like, oh man, who's got the biggest, who's doing it? But yeah, everyone's so kind and so helpful and nice, and yeah, it's so good. It's so nice to catch up with these people. You know, I was here last year, and it was amazing how many people came back over and like was, oh, you came again, great, good to see you. And you kind of think, geez, how do you remember that? I remember because I see you on the computer all the time, or on the phone all the time, but don't expect you to remember me, but they do, and it's so amazing.
Yeah. Yes. What about you, Peter?
Yeah, I think it was great. Like I said, get to meet a whole heap of new people, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool part. You know, meeting them from all across the world too. Had my mate Rolly from Mexico, my big Mexican brother. You know, it's great. Every year there's.
You don't know if that
60
means something different in Mexico, man. You may be in trouble.
Well, he's only going to like me or he's going to take me out of the equation. One of the two. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully it was a good thing, Rolly. But yeah, it's always good to meet new creators from across the world, because at the end of the day, you know, we're all sharing a passion and an interest, I think anyway, for animals, and it's our way of expressing, you know, what, for me anyway, it's my way of expressing how much I love these animals and getting it out there, and the opportunity to travel the world and get exposed to so many cool animals, for me, is the coolest part.
Yeah, because you guys don't get to see a lot of these animals that you'll get to see here in the United States.
No, it's good for me because I've got that past of being able to keep a lot of these animals, and well, it's good and bad. So it allows me to come back and see some bloody amazing animals that we can't keep. But it also shows me so many animals that, you know, coming from the UK that I could have kept years ago, and I kind of see all these things like your monkey tails and that, and just think, why the hell did I not keep those back then? Like now I'm in Australia, I can't keep them.
Yeah.
And you know, you kind of look back and think, damn it, should have kept things like that, colubrids, and you know, just some amazing things that I do miss.
Yeah.
But obviously Australia's pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
It's a good excuse for me to get out and hang out with some friends too.
Yeah, exactly.
Some old friends.
Yeah, so if any of you guys are wondering why they can't have all those animals, Australia's basically locked down. Stuff can't go out, that can't come in, and they're basically stuck with basically native species, correct? That's the only thing you guys can. The only thing you guys can have. So it's cool for them to get out and see all these animals that we can have that they can't, and we're obviously jealous of them because they get to have stuff and go see it in their backyards that we can't have.
There'll be people out there thinking, what's the matter with you guys? You live in Australia, you got all the cool stuff, but you do take things for granted, and you do want other stuff as well, but we
You always
can't.
want what you can't have, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Why not?
It's like down here in Florida, we have all these gnolls and alligators everywhere, and you guys are like, oh my gosh, this is really freaking cool. Yeah. And then where are you guys headed off to next? Now that your flight has been delayed and you're here for a couple more days?
We've got another day here, and then tomorrow, Arvo, we head up to Chicago, and we'll be heading to Tinley to have a look around Tinley, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be good. There's going to be some cool things to see there. Yeah.
So all you guys that are going to Tinley, make sure you stop these guys and say hi.
Harass us.
They're there. Yeah,
Two weird sounding blokes cruising around.
Yeah.
very true.
No putting illegal animals in our bags.
Yeah. Like they need to get back through security. So
Yeah, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
Again.
So what was one of the coolest things you got to do or see or while you were here?
I guess it's always, like I said before, it's always good to get the chance to come back and hang out with friends. I mean, going and seeing Kyle over at Primitive Predators, it's always good to see those guys, Kyle, Ryan and Haley. Always make time for those guys.
Mhm.
And plus, the expansion. I mean, from last year when we were there, they've added this whole gigantic section on the back there.
Yeah, that was the storage area.
Yeah, it used to be a storage area,
Yeah,
but now
yeah.
it transformed magically in the last year.
Yeah.
This massive area now. They've got these giant outdoor ponds. That's the the rehabilitation area where the bigger gators are. Yeah.
Those guys are amazing, like Kyle, Haley, and Ryan. It's just the most amazing place I think I've ever been to. And there's some amazing places in the world. I'm not putting anyone else down, but that situation
It's next
is just,
level.
Yeah.
It is completely next level. The people are just awesome. If there's one thing that I wanted to do, it was to catch up with those guys again.
Yes.
Yeah, love them to bits.
Yeah.
Great
that was
people,
just-
great place.
Yeah.
Just next level on so many different things.
Yeah, that was my first time being at Kyle's place, and there's nothing like it. Like the amount of crocodilians and just the facility that he has is absolutely unreal. I mean, and every single crocodilian / alligator that is there is just like perfect condition, and he's even got some groups of babies that he's been raising up. That there's what 40 Niles in that one enclosure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's probably not that many, but close. It's a decent amount, and there's
no
aggression,
bite marks,
no
nothing. Every single one of them is like perfect, and they're big, which is even more impressive.
Size
And
of them.
yeah, and
And the salties too, a big pile of salties. That's
Yeah.
where there was 40 odd.
oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was,
I
salties.
think
Yeah,
Niles there was like 20 or maybe even less than that, but the salties there was definitely, but that was a big area too. That
Yeah.
was pretty,
it's a pretty
Is
big
it?
area.
It's going to be open to the public at some point, isn't it? Jaws.
It
JAWS.
depends if Kyle wants to do that.
I wouldn't if I was Kyle.
Is it- you don't
I
want
would-
to-
I would not do that. I would have that as my little paradise, and
Yeah.
It's a little
yeah.
place just to be yourself, right?
just for us to visit once a year.
Yeah, just for us. No one else.
No one else. We don't want other people
No,
to
no,
come
no.
revisit.
Wanna crank
Come
us
on,
up.
Carl.
Yeah.
Sort it out.
And I mean, this place is unreal. It's got, I think he said 21 of the
Yes.
27 species, and then he's actually got 3 different hybrids there as well.
Yep.
Where he's got the Nile Cubans, which if you want a Dominus Rex, like that's it. Like
It's next level.
that's yeah. I mean,
Like you said-
bigger than a Cuban, but just as agile and
Those things are jumping, like you've seen how high those fences were. I've seen
Yeah.
it jump to the height of that fence.
wow,
Around
that
the
is
rabbit before it cleared the fence. It was like
that is crazy.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
But yeah, absolutely magnificent place. I've been to a lot of zoos all over the country, and I've never seen anything like this place. It's one of those places that you walk around and you're taking as much in as possible, and then even afterwards you're like, holy shit, what the hell did I just see? Like
It's hard to take it in.
yeah, it's
for days after you kind of going, you're remembering bits and pieces of it. It's just unreal. One of the things that always stands out for me is like when you're like, I don't think this will be open to the public at any time, but they have some snakes, some venomous snakes, and some just amazing snakes up there. And you've got young Ryan. Sorry, Ryan, to call you young Ryan, but I'm an old guy. young Ryan, who is probably the most calmest, most impressive handler of venomous snakes I've ever seen. Like,
Wow.
so
The way he moves
amazing.
around the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have any fear when he's there handling any venomous or anything. He doesn't free handle, but he just handles so amazingly well.
yeah, he's very very good with his
So
tools.
good.
That's for
Yeah.
sure. And
So,
it was, I mean, you guys can attest to this as well, that literally he's handling these animals and they're so calm the whole time,
Yeah.
and they don't even get upset until they get put back.
No,
That's
so
whenever
soft and
you
gentle.
might
Yeah.
see some sort of flinch from them, but the whole time is just so smooth, so gentle, just respecting the animal so much, and the animals like know that he's going to be gentle with them. It seems
Yeah.
like they're
they're just calm.
Yeah,
you,
they're super
you know,
calm.
you go there and there's animals being soaked for rehydration and stuff, and you just go, oh God, everything's just so perfect.
Yeah.
I hate it.
He's,
Yeah.
on, he's on point, right? He's on point.
Yeah, it's
And-
just brilliant.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely
brilliant.
immaculate.
But you're right, the most important thing with working with venomous snakes is making the animals feel as comfortable as the handler. Otherwise, there's a problem.
Yeah,
I've never seen anyone like it though, and including myself and everything. And like, just so the calmness involved in how he does it, I just think is next level. You can come away and learn stuff from Ryan for sure.
absolutely.
Pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
I think I've learned so much just walking around with both of them that, I mean, stuff that I never would have even thought of. And then the cool part about it is like how big of a heart Kyle has, and you know, taking in all these unwanted alligators, or not unwanted, but you know, people that got alligators that they shouldn't have, because we all know in certain states you can get them very, very easily, and he takes a lot of these animals in, and they have a forever home, and it is an amazing home. Like it's basically they're in heaven. I mean, they have everything that they could ever need.
It's a sad story if they're in heaven.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I guess heaven on earth. Yeah, heavenly. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're constantly improving too. So even though they've got such a great facility, they're constantly improving. They're constantly, you know, rehoming their art. They're constantly talking to people. They're networking.
There's something that we do in the reptile hobby where, you know, we have a tendency, and we need to probably think about this way more. We have a tendency to have these animals that we're kind of always growing up. And we try our hardest to always have the next situation for that animal, the next cage, the next bigger cage, whatever, as it's growing. Like that's all kind of, for me, it was all just ready to go there. There's empty cages that obviously things can be moved into, and it's just all there, ready to go.
Yeah, and just the lushness of the place, like so many plants and shade and, you know, visual barriers and, you know, even different depths of the water, and I mean, it's all just amazing. Very, very well thought out. I think he's probably got the most thought out exhibits that I've ever seen, probably in the world. So very, very cool. And it was, yeah, it's very cool.
I'm surprised that every zoo in the world isn't actually hiring it
to design the stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Because they should be.
And maybe he can be that bridge between the private sector and, you know, different zoos, because, you know, here in America for sure there's definitely that you know, stigma where the academia, zoos, and private sector don't work together. They almost like hate each other, and it's, you know, at the end of the day it's for the animals, and the more we can work together for the betterment of them, I think the better off all the animals will be, for sure. Yeah. Do we have any questions in the chat?
We don't. We've got a hello.
We got a hello.
That's enough. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Well, hi. Or as we like to say, get out.
Wow. Is there even people watching us? Right
Yeah,
now?
you got a few.
All right. Well, dang. Put some. Yeah.
The three of us are watching.
Pressure's on you. It's us. We're all.
I mean, if you guys have any questions, definitely ask it in the chat, and we'll try to get to you and see.
There is about a 4-minute delay, so
A 4-minute
yes.
delay. Oh, wow.
So it's not lagging in the sense that it's not, you know, they're getting a good experience, but it's a long delay.
Oh.
So I said this 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. Wow, we're gonna have to like entertain for a little bit longer, I guess.
Dance for 4 minutes.
Yeah. So what do you guys have planned back home whenever you guys get back home? Anything fun?
It's the crazy time for us. We're going back to eggs and possibly hatchling snakes.
Yeah, you'll be hatchlings. I'm just starting to get eggs. So exciting times. I get to this point around that week mark where I now start thinking, I can't wait to get home to my animals. And I still love that. I love the feeling that I can go away somewhere. All the animals are looked after by people there. But I just get to that week mark. You get to the first few days and you're kind of, no pressure. I can relax. And then I get to the week mark and I'm just dying to go home.
So every night you sit there going,
yeah, every night I'm thinking of the animals. I'm speaking to my wife and saying like, how are they? What's going on here? How's Cooper, our dog? I miss Cooper so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm now at that point where I'm starting to think I can't wait to get back. I have a list on my phone of jobs as soon as I get back, like get out there and clean all the water bowls and fresh water, and you know, even though someone's probably already done that at some point this week, I'll be going home, and it's my way of looking at every animal when I get back, change its water, check them over, and then collecting eggs and things, hopefully fertile eggs.
Yeah. Speaking of getting there or getting here and getting back, so tell everybody how long of a trip it actually is for you guys.
sheesh.
Well, this year we went to Dallas, but last year was messed with my head a bit because we leave Sydney. I fly from Adelaide to Sydney. We leave Sydney and land in LA 3 hours before we left Sydney. And you're like, I'm sure I sat on that plane for a long time. I'm positive I
Feel
did.
ripped off.
That's weird. But yeah, it's a long flight. So I have 2 hours to Sydney, roughly just under 2 hours to Sydney. And then Sydney to this time Dallas is 15 hours.
Yeah,
And then it was another 2.5 hours from there to here in Orlando.
with the
With
2.5
stopovers.
hours.
Yeah, stopovers in between, about 5 hours altogether with stopovers in between. So,
Becomes the longest day of your life.
yeah, yeah.
Or shortest day because technically.
Well,
Yeah,
we left at 3:30
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah.
We landed in Dallas 15 minutes later.
Yeah, Dallas was closer. Dallas is
It's
And
that
then-
time travel.
And then we landed
Further
here,
away.
and by the time we got here, it was 10 p.m. It's like,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so it really was only 8 hours you guys
it's
were
just-
flying, right?
yeah, it's not that long. I'm lying. We're dragging it out.
But going back, you guys leave on like Sunday and you're back
we
Tuesday.
leave
Yeah,
Sunday night and arrive Tuesday morning. So we
It's
don't
about
even sit
25
there.
hours all in all travel, I think, from when I get back to Adelaide.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of lose a day as well.
Wow, which is
Crazy
crazy. Right?
time like that.
Yeah, so Monday's just gone.
So yeah, it's a big trip, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Nice, awesome.
So big list of jobs to do. Looking forward to it. Get back, see the animals.
Yeah.
Love it.
See every single animal. It's one of the things, right? It's
Yeah.
one of the most valuable things is the eyes,
Yeah.
more so than anything else. I think for reptile people or animal people,
Yeah.
because you can see things that are wrong, abnormal, just different.
So what kind of tips and tricks did you guys pick up this time that you might be able to use with your animals whenever you guys get back home?
None. We pretty much know everything.
we need to teach you that.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. I did realize that the shinglebacks are actually very closely in care to monkey tails.
Very similar in a lot of ways, yeah.
It's only like these guys are the arboreal shinglebacks in a lot of ways.
Very similar, so much, like reproduction, we're talking diet, as well as, family groups,
Yeah.
and their behaviours and stuff like that. So, yeah, for me, that's what I like getting out of it, is talking to guys like yourself that, buying animals, we all buy animals, but
Yeah.
people that actually love their animals and study their animals, that's what I want to see and hear and live that.
I just like, going to Animal Con and like when we'll be going to Tinley and that, you get so many ideas. I've got a pad and a pen for Tinley just to walk around and just write down ideas, because you'll see new equipment and everything. Us in Australia are a bit shaded from it all to a certain extent.
Very secluded.
Yeah,
the whole
so
hobby sort of thing.
it's really going to be great. Like, I'll go back with loads of ideas of different things to do. And equally go back disappointed because we can't have cork bark
Yes.
Yeah.
and things.
Which is crazy. Like that's one of our like staples is cork bark.
The
and
odd
you can't
time
even
you
get
can
it.
get like flat sheets of it and things, but
Yeah.
the actual the round logs and things on it is just like you just can't get it. And, you go back and think I really want to do that, but I can't. How can I do it? So I'll try and find a way to do it.
Yeah.
But we'll go back with equipment and everything will be so different.
It's the ideas too. It's like I say,
That's-
once
that's
you've
why.
stolen it,
Yeah.
it's seen, it cannot be unseen.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
you
Yeah.
suck it in, just take it up here, and then
That's why I'm
take
here,
things back.
because I want to learn those things and bring them back into
Yeah.
Australia and try and keep up to date. I've lost so much knowledge in things like lighting and things that I've got to really learn about again to figure out where we are now, because these things have moved on. Well, they've probably not moved on as much as I.
Did you hear about how some of our lights in the hobby are now illegal? Because it has to do with energy consumption and stuff like that, where our lighting has to be a certain wattage and lumens, and Zoomed actually had to get rid of some of their product line just because of these new
I
regulations.
know that Arcadia came out with a whole new group of lighting for it as well.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
sort
good.
of the same in Australia. They're phasing out a lot of the incandescent lights.
Okay.
So even for houses, that sort of stuff, they're phasing all of that
So what?
low wattage LED stuff.
So how do you guys? Is it easier to heat stuff over there? Do you have different elements that you use for heating?
We live on one of the warmest continents in the world. But besides that,
It's
It
not
is
too
different.
bad. I mean, because I'm
it is and isn't.
mostly a python keeper. Any lizards that I've got, I keep outside.
Yeah.
So they kind of look after themselves
Yeah.
in that way, which is great. They do have some heat and things out there, but I'm kind of a python guy who uses a lot of like heat mats and things, and heat heat panels and things like that to heat. Because, you know, light bulbs, heat bulbs, deep heat stuff, all of that, they just dry snakes out too much and you have trouble shedding and everything. So I go for a lighter heat. My rooms, you know, I mean, most of the time they've got enough animals in them to keep the ambient quite high anyway, and then heat mats and things do the rest on thermostats.
Yeah.
So it kind of doesn't affect me too much, you know, with what I keep. But yeah, it's potentially a problem. I really wanted to master LED, UV and things. Because that would be a cooler way of getting, you know, UV into snakes, especially green tree pythons. We know that they could definitely gain from it. But the problem is, you know, especially in South Australia where it's hot and dry, you put even a T5 bulb, the smallest T5 bulb in with a green tree python, it's going to raise the heat so much. So if I do that, but you know, it's on for an hour or two, first thing in the morning, I tend to, how I've wired them up now is to have them come on for an hour or two in the morning, and then like the heat panels or heat mats come on after that, so I'm not plugging the cage with too much heat, because they get hot. And green tree pythons, you know, that's where you get your problems of dehydration, you know, kinking, then backing up and
prolapsing and all that.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Prolapsing here is where they're trying to get out solid urates and just can't. You know, so I really want LED UV to become not as dangerous as what it still is at the moment, and that would be awesome because I think that will possibly stay a bit cooler.
Yeah, that's one of the great parts about moving here to Florida was being able to keep a lot of the stuff outside.
Yeah, you've got your green tree pythons outside.
That's awesome. Being able to keep them outside in this high humidity and, you know, don't have any shedding issues or anything like that. Up north, I was having shedding issues because, you know, just to keep them warm enough, you'd usually dry them out.
You're sometimes forced to put this massive heat source on or whatever, and then you dry them out. You know, I want to take back. I got this from last year. I want to do some outside enclosures for my green tree pythons. It won't be all year round. Certainly won't be in the height of summer because that would be too hot. You know, planted out areas where I can put them for, you know, even if it's 2 or 3 months a year at different points, spring and autumn or something. I want to get them out there. Yeah, I want to get them out there. And after being to run St. Pierre's, what a legend on there. Like the way that he keeps and the way that he changes things out, like, it's amazing. And I want to do something similar to him, but but yeah, not have them outside in worse kind of times.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you always learn stuff. I think whenever you go to anyone's collection, you should be able to take something away every time. None of us know everything, although some of us think. But you know, we don't. I want to walk away and learn something from everywhere. And I love that. It's just the best thing.
So what's been your favorite animal that you saw here?
Here?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of that.
Oh! Actually, you probably like the spiders more than anything.
God, the spiders.
I was about to say, you got animals here? You got bugs.
The
8-legged bugs.
Yeah, the 8-legged bugs.
For me, it's the bearded dragon.
The bearded dragon, because you guys don't have those in Australia
You
anymore?
don't get many. No, do you know, you've got all the cool stuff, the monkey tail skinks, some of the geckos, and just ridiculous.
I probably should post more about some of the cooler stuff that I have, other than just the leopard geckos.
Because no one gets to know. You're selfishly keeping it all to yourself.
I know. I need to start posting more on social media.
But the tarantulas, that's just...
So that's my new thing is the tarantulas. And, you know, I got one at Daytona, which was like a month ago. And now I have...
600.
No, I don't have 600. It's not that crazy yet.
Last count.
But I think of the 14... pokies, I have 9 already, so yeah, it went from 0 to 9 in a hurry. But you know, those are really cool spiders. I think.
I miss being able to keep things like that, like the red knees and pink toes, tarantulas, and all of that stuff, and some of the mantids that I used to keep in England as well.
Which we don't even get to keep here.
You don't?
No, because. USDA, they basically, because of agriculture, they won't let us keep stuff that any time during their life cycle they eat plants. So stick bugs and grasshoppers and all kinds of
So
weird
mantis
stuff.
should be alright then.
No, because at some weird thing where at a certain point in their development, there's actually like plant life that they eat, which is kind of weird. So yeah, only
That's nasty.
specific facilities that have permits to have them are allowed to keep them, and they have to be behind 2 locked doors, and yeah, it's a
great
big
risk
thing.
to your environment.
Yeah.
They fascinate me, those things. I remember the first time I went to Borneo, and a big green one, like had it on my hand, and it just sat there on my hand, and it just went and stared at me, and I thought, oh my god. I mean, like a normal human, I
human
went
must
before
die.
load when I got home.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I have these whenever I
Yeah, I can keep those.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you don't have a huge collection, but you have some really cool stuff. Like you really, there's no 5,000 ball pythons, right?
Yeah.
You nitpick the really cool stuff, like the monitors, the
Oh, the monitors are just
you
amazing.
got the prehensile skinks. Then you got your geckos, 50,000 million different colours.
Yeah.
I mean, we share a similar addiction, obviously.
Yeah.
With that colour development and patterns, and I mean that keeps the brain going, and that stimulates. For me, that stimulates interest in the hobby as well as this. Learning about behaviours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for me, I think you've got some really cool stuff, man.
Thank you.
Like I said,
Pure Biak
Yeah.
tree pythons, that's all I've got to say.
That's your favorite.
Wow. Oh, for sure.
I know it might sound a little
Always
weird,
been.
but we don't. But obviously, it's like a kid in a candy store for me coming in. It's like I want everything.
Yeah.
Everything's new. Everything's different. But
Yeah.
if I had the choice, I wouldn't pick everything. I would still be nitpicking. I have a problem. Obviously, it would get a lot worse.
Yeah.
But I think you've done really well.
No, if I lived back in England, there would be a problem.
Oh yeah, we know
Yeah,
that.
there would be a big problem. Because, I just look back at everything I could have kept. But I'd instantly have a colony of some sort of garter snakes. I look back now and think that was my first ever snake. And they were, sadly, I was 6 or 7 years old, whatever, they were throwaway snakes.
Yeah.
I used to feed them goldfish, which killed them. We didn't realise that back then. But now I'd go back, some of those red-sided garters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my life.
Yeah, the ones that have the blue on them and stuff like that. Oh, crazy.
Just insane animals. So I think if I moved back to England, there'd be a problem.
Yeah.
So definitely can't move back there.
I don't know if we got any. Still no questions. That's because nobody watches me anymore.
No,
because
you're
I
fluctuating between like 3 and 15, like wildly.
Wildly.
Yeah.
It's the weather.
Yes, the weather.
Wind.
It's you keep losing service or something. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for a little sit down. Maybe I'll get my algorithm up so I can start getting monetized or something like that.
I think you need to.
It's funny. After Animal Con every year, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start posting more stuff, and then I post for like a month, and I'm like, okay, we're done here.
I came last year for that reason. To say,
Yeah.
like, I want to go there and I want it to persuade me to do social stuff and really get in there and get my numbers up and everything. And I didn't.
Yeah.
This year's I've kind of gone in with my eyes open a little bit more, and it's made me realise it's too hard.
It's too hard to even do it.
It's way
That's a wise
too
start,
hard.
right?
A little bit of work.
Like, there's too much work in it. So
Yeah, because I mean, how many people do we see that we're just constantly getting footage of whatever?
it's
like,
what you have to do. Everything you do is constantly thinking about getting a bit of footage on that.
Yeah.
Getting it out there.
New.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for watching a little sit down with us, and definitely, how do these guys follow you? Probably you guys have bigger followings than I do at this
I
point.
doubt that. The Prestige Pythons on Instagram and what's the other one? The Facebooky thing.
Yeah, the Facebook.
Yeah, Prestige Pythons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The face chook,
Yeah.
So Criticam on all the socials.
And
Everything.
there it is.
There it is.
That's it.
And definitely, if you see these guys up at Tinley, definitely tell them you said hi. Or that didn't even make any sense. That was awful.
Go and say hi.
Yeah, go and say hi. See, that's why I don't do this.
Don't be
all the
strange. We don't bite much.
time. Much. Yeah. So, all right, guys. We'll see you later. Just hit the end.
I don't know how to do it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Very good.